Hey everybody, it's Christine, and today I want to talk to you about a trap that you're probably falling into that you may not be aware of. So here's the thing, with all the clients that I see and the people that I work with, one thing I notice is that people spend a lot more time and energy avoiding what they don't want to experience rather than really going for what they want to experience. And people talk a lot about what they want, but when it comes to actual energy and actual action and actual habits, there's way too much time about what we want to avoid. I call this the avoidance trap, and I want to tell you how to get out of it today because it's really impacting your life in a negative way. Okay, this is just 5 steps. It's super easy, and you're going to have an aha moment when you see how this trap is really impacting your life, okay? So the first step is to determine your avoidance trap. And how you do that is you ask yourself, what do you really spend time and energy to avoid feeling? My example was rejection. I hated rejection. It was totally my issue. After being teased and heartbroken and blah, 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 I would do anything to avoid being rejected. I hated the feeling. So that was my trap. Rejection was what I 100% spend my time and energy avoiding, and it impacted my decisions and drastically impacted my life. Which brings me to step number 2. Identify what the trap is preventing you from experiencing or doing. So in my example, by avoiding rejection, I really would prevent putting myself out there. I'd stop myself from taking risks. I'd get in the way of going after what I really wanted. So what is your avoidance trap? What are you trying to avoid? Are you trying to avoid being out of control? So what you do is you play it safe and you don't take a lot of risks. Are you trying to avoid disappointing other people? So what you do is you constantly try to be a chameleon and you don't really express yourself and you're not really being who you are. The step 2 is really important. You got to identify what the avoidance trap is keeping you from really stepping into. And number 3 is reason with yourself. Once you see what the trap is, and then you look at everything it's costing you, just get into your logical mind for a second and go, does this make any sense? I may be avoiding rejection or being out of control or disappointing others, but I'm missing all this other stuff. It's preventing me from going after what I want and connecting with people and expressing myself and being who I am and stepping into my full potential. That makes no sense. So at number 3, you want to reason with yourself and realize the absurdity of staying in your avoidance trap. Know that it's a trap and it's not safe, okay? So step 4 is to shift your focus. Instead of looking at what you want to avoid, shift your focus to what you want to create more of. So instead of looking at how you might get rejected, look at what you might be able to create. Look at the new people you may be able to draw into your life. Look at how much freedom you feel when you start really putting yourself out there and you stop staying in the trap. So shift your focus. Don't look at what you want to move away from. Look at what you want to move towards. And then number 5, and this is really important because awareness is just awareness until you implement it into action. So look at one area in your life where your avoidance trap is stopping you or keeping you stuck and take a tiny baby step out of it. So if you're avoiding doing something in your life because you don't want to feel that thing that you constantly don't want to feel, shift your focus, look at what it's costing you, and take one small action step. Okay? So maybe it's taking one small risk or having a conversation with a person that you've tried to avoid or writing something for the first time. You know what it is. Take that baby step. Because once you start to move toward what you want rather than away from what you want to avoid, you will have so much more momentum and peace and joy in your life. So my encouragement to you today is get out of the trap. I'm throwing you a rope with these 5 steps. Use it. Climb out and start walking towards what you really want to experience in life.